Hello, my dear learner. Welcome back to English Practice Beginners. Today, we begin with something very simple but very important. This lesson will help you start any English conversation with confidence. Imagine you walk into a room, meet someone new, and want to speak politely in English. You don't need difficult grammar. You only need to sound warm, calm, and friendly. Let's listen to a short conversation between two people, Sarah and David. A. Hello, how are you today? B. I'm good, thank you. How are you? A. I'm fine, thanks. What's your name? B. My name is Sarah, and yours? A. I'm David. Nice to meet you, Sarah. B. Nice to meet you too, David. That was a simple and beautiful exchange. You can use it anywhere, at school, at work, in a cafe, or even online. Let's understand what's happening here. Hello, how are you today? Is a very polite way to start. It shows interest and care. When someone asks you that, don't just say fine every time. You can say I'm good, or I'm doing great, or I'm okay, thank you. And when they ask your name, say it proudly. My name is Sarah. Then add, nice to meet you. It's a phrase that builds connection and trust. In British English, we often say it gently with a smile. Pronounce it like this. Nice to meet you. The to becomes t. It's softer, natural. Now, let's repeat together. Say it slowly after me. Hello, how are you today? I'm good, thank you. What's your name? My name is Sarah. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Feel the rhythm of each sentence. It's like a small wave, up and down, smooth and calm. Now, let's check your listening. Listen carefully. What did Sarah say her name was? And what did David say after nice to meet you? Take a second, think, and answer in your mind. If you remembered Sarah and nice to meet you too, that's perfect. And now, a moment of confidence talk. Every time you speak even one sentence in English, you grow stronger. Never fear mistakes. They are proof that you are learning. Speaking is like walking. You only get better when you move. So move your tongue, move your voice, and say hello to the world. That's where English begins. Listen again tomorrow, and your hello will already sound more natural. Lesson 1. Talking about daily routine. Today's lesson is about your everyday life, what you do in the morning, afternoon, and evening. We'll learn how to talk about daily habits naturally. Imagine you're having a friendly chat with someone at work or school. A. What time do you wake up in the morning? B. I wake up at 7 o'clock. A. That's early. Do you eat breakfast? B. Yes. I always have breakfast before work. A. What do you usually eat? B. I eat toast and drink tea. What about you? A. I usually have coffee and a sandwich. This is a natural British conversation. Short, polite, and friendly. The focus here is the simple present tense, which we use for habits and routines. Listen carefully to the verbs. Wake up, eat, drink. We add s only when we talk about he or she, for example. He wakes up at 6. She drinks tea. Also, always, usually, and sometimes are frequency words. They tell us how often we do something. You can say, I always have breakfast, or I sometimes skip breakfast. Now let's repeat together slowly. I wake up at 7 o'clock. I eat breakfast every morning. I drink tea. I go to work. I come home in the evening. When you repeat, don't rush. Feel the rhythm of your speech. Let's try a small listening test. Listen carefully. What time does the speaker wake up? What does he drink? Think. The answer is he wakes up at 7 and he drinks tea. Simple. Right? Now, a small confidence moment. English becomes natural when you connect it to your life. Don't memorize. Describe your real morning. Say it now. I wake up at 6. I brush my teeth. I make coffee. The more real you make it, the faster your brain learns. Practice every day. Your English will grow with your routine. Lesson 2. Talking about family. Let's learn how to speak about your family. It's one of the warmest and most human topics in any language. A. Do you have a big family? B. Not very big. I have one brother and one sister. What about you? A. I have 2 brothers. B. Are they older or younger? A. They're older than me. B. That's nice. Do you live with your family? A. Yes, I live with my parents. This is a real conversation. Simple but full of connection. When talking about family, we use words like mother, father, brother, sister, parents, children, grandparents. Pronounce them clearly mother, not mother, and father, with a soft th. The grammar is simple. I have plus person. Example, I have a brother. I have 2 sisters. They are older than me. To make comparisons, we use older, younger, bigger, smaller. Now, repeat slowly. I have 1 brother. I have 1 sister. They are older than me. I live with my family. Very good. Now, your mini listening test. How many brothers does the speaker have? And does he live with his family? The answers: 2 brothers. Yes, he does. Confidence talk. Family is your first classroom for language. You already speak with emotion and care when you talk about your loved ones. Use that same feeling when speaking English. Emotion makes pronunciation stronger. When you care about your words, they sound alive. Lesson 3. Ordering food at a cafe. Now imagine you walk into a cafe in London or Manchester. You smile at the waiter and want to order something politely. Let's listen. A. Good morning. Can I have a cup of tea, please? B. Of course. Would you like milk or sugar? A. Milk, please. No sugar. B. Anything else? A. Yes, a sandwich, please. B. That's £4.50, please. A. Here you go. Thank you. B. Thank you. Have a nice day. Now, let's break it down. Can I have is a polite British way to ask for something. Always add please. You can say, can I have a coffee, please? Or can I have some water, please? Notice how soft the tone is. No rush, no command, just calm kindness. Repeat after me slowly. Can I have a cup of tea, please? Milk, please. No sugar. Thank you. Have a nice day. Listening test. What did the speaker order? A cup of tea and a sandwich. How much did it cost? £4? 50. Confidence talk. When you order something in English, you are not just buying food. You're practicing your voice, your politeness, your courage. Every please and thank you builds your English soul. Speak with grace. That's true fluency. Lesson 4. Asking for directions. You're on a street in London and you're lost. You need help. Let's learn how to ask politely. A. Excuse me. Could you tell me the way to the train station? B. Yes. Go straight, then turn left at the traffic lights. A. Thank you very much. B. You're welcome. So simple, yet powerful. Excuse me is the most polite British phrase to get someone's attention. Could you tell me is softer than tell me. Repeat. Could you tell me the way to the station? Now, repeat together. Excuse me. Could you tell me the way to the train station? Go straight. Turn left. Thank you. Mini test. Which direction should you turn? Left. Perfect. Confidence talk. Never fear asking for help. Politeness is universal. When you speak gently, people listen. English is not just words. It's kindness in sound. Lesson 5. Shopping conversation. Today's lesson takes us to a small shop on a quiet British street. You want to buy something and speak politely with the shop assistant. Let's listen carefully. A. Good afternoon. Can I help you? B. Yes, please. I'm looking for a t-shirt. A. What size do you need? B. Medium, please. A. Here you are. Would you like to try it on? B. Yes, where is the changing room? A. It's over there on the right. B. Thank you, I'll take this one. How much is it? A. It's £15. B. Here you go. Thank you very much. A. You're welcome. Have a lovely day. This conversation shows polite phrases we always use while shopping. Can I help you? Is what a shop assistant says to start. When you're the customer, you can say, I'm looking for, and then the item. Notice how every line includes please or thank you. That's British politeness. Also, I'll take this one means you have decided to buy it. Pronounce it like, I'll take this one. The one becomes soft. Let's repeat together, slowly and clearly. Can I help you? I'm looking for a t-shirt medium, please. I'll take this one. How much is it? £15. Thank you very much. Feel the flow. Calm, friendly, natural. Listening test. What did the customer buy? A t-shirt. How much did it cost? £15. Excellent. Confidence talk. Speaking English in shops is one of the best ways to build courage. Don't worry about mistakes. People understand you more than you think. Every real-world interaction makes your English stronger. Speak with kindness, and your accent will automatically soften. Lesson 6. Talking about the weather. In Britain, the weather is a favourite topic. It's polite, easy, and always a good way to start a conversation. A. It's a lovely day, isn't it? B. Yes, the sun is shining. It's quite warm today. A. I know, yesterday was so cold. B. British weather changes all the time. A. True. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. This is very common in daily British talk. People love to comment on weather. It's safe, friendly, and connects strangers. The phrase, "It's a lovely day, isn't it?" uses a question tag, short form of confirmation at the end. Isn't it is added to make the tone gentle. In British English, it sounds like isn't it, softly connected. Now, repeat after me. It's a lovely day, isn't it? The sun is shining. It's quite warm today. British weather changes all the time. Repeat slowly. Feel the melody in your speech. Mini test. What did the speakers say about yesterday? It was cold. Confidence talk. Even simple small talk builds your fluency. Don't wait for big topics. Real English grows from small daily words like nice weather and how's your day? Speak about what you see, and fluency will follow naturally. Lesson 7. Talking about free time and hobbies. Now, let's talk about what you do for fun. Sharing hobbies helps you connect with people deeply. Let's listen. A. What do you do in your free time? B. I like reading books and watching films. What about you? A. I play football on weekends. B. That's great. Do you play in a team? A. Yes, with my friends from work. B. Sounds fun. We use the present simple tense again here. I like. I play. I watch. These describe your interests. In British pronunciation, say film, not movie like Americans. You can also say I enjoy reading or I love listening to music. These are polite and natural ways to express what makes you happy. Now repeat with me. I like reading books. I watch films. I play football. I love music. I go for walks. Excellent. Mini test. What does the speaker do in his free time? He plays football with friends. Confidence talk. English is not just grammar. It's life. When you talk about your hobbies, your eyes shine and your voice becomes stronger. That energy makes your pronunciation better automatically. Talk about what you love. It makes your English real. Lesson 8. Talking about work and study. Now let's learn how to talk about what you do in life, your job or your studies. Listen to this short conversation. A. What do you do? B. I'm a teacher. What about you? A. I'm a student. I study English. B. That's great. How long have you been studying English? A. For 2 years. B. That's impressive. You speak very well. This is the way most first-time conversations start in English. What do you do? Means, what is your job? Don't confuse it with, what are you doing? Which means, what are you doing now? The answer usually begins with, I'm a... For professions, for example, I'm a doctor. I'm an engineer. I'm a student. Pronounce I'm a smoothly, like I'm. Repeat after me. What do you do? I'm a teacher. I'm a student. I study English. I've been learning for 2 years. Mini listening test. How long has the student been studying English? For 2 years. Confidence talk. When someone asks, what do you do? Don't feel shy. Say it with pride. Every learner, every worker, every dreamer has value. English is not about showing off. It's about sharing who you are with the world. Lesson 9. At the doctor's office. Now, let's learn how to talk when you're not feeling well. Imagine you're at a doctor's clinic. A. Good morning. What seems to be the problem? B. I have a headache and a sore throat. A. How long have you had it? B. For 2 days. A. Say, have you taken any medicine? B. Just some tablets, but they didn't help. A. All right. I'll give you some medicine. Please take it twice a day. B. Thank you, doctor. A. You're welcome. Get well soon. In this dialogue, notice the polite tone and short, clear sentences. The question, what seems to be the problem, is a soft, British way to ask what's wrong. The patient uses present perfect tense. I have had it for 2 days. Common health words, headache, sore throat, fever, cold, stomach ache. Pronounce headache like headache and fever as fever. Now repeat slowly. I have a headache, I have a sore throat. I've had it for 2 days. Thank you, doctor. Listening test. What is the problem? a headache and sore throat, confidence talk. English is also for real-life help. Even when you're sick, your words can guide someone to care for you. That's the true purpose of language: connection, safety, and kindness. Never stop learning, because every word you know makes your life easier in the world. Now, let's close this entire session with a calm, emotional teacher's reflection. You've just completed 10 powerful lessons of real English conversations. From greetings to family, shopping to health, each step taught you not just grammar, but connection, courage, and kindness. Remember, fluency is not speed. Fluency is calm confidence. Listen to these lessons again and again. Repeat them out loud, even when no one is watching. Every time you speak, you train your voice and your heart to move together in English. Don't chase perfection. Chase progress. Every small word you speak today becomes a big sentence tomorrow. Every mistake you make is proof that you are trying. So keep listening, keep repeating, and keep believing. Your English is growing quietly, beautifully, every single day. Tomorrow, when you speak, you'll sound more natural, more confident,